And welcome into our studio here in Blaine, another edition of Sports Den. It's where the Cougars, the Bengals, the Spring Lake Park Panthers all live. And for the second week in a row, alongside Ted LaRue, I'm Matt Dean. Ted, we're talking state tournaments again. Eyes turning to downtown St. Paul for the volleyball state tournament this week. We're going to have state tournament football kind of scattered all throughout the state, and then everything's going to converge for the big week, the following week, when we get to U.S. Bank Stadium for those semifinal and state championship games we'll be talking about as we start to approach Thanksgiving. But another exciting week, and we have got plenty of North Metro TV schools in the mix for these state tournaments this week.
Yeah, we've been talking for a couple of weeks on how these football and volleyball seasons have been in sync, dating back to the regular year, and now when it comes playoff time that they're in sync. And this is kind of, this is what we've been looking forward to, right? This has kind of been, as we continue to climb up the mountain, we're kind of at the peak. Who can kind of make that final trip up to the ultimate peak to get to the state tournament, of course? I think the best place to start here, Matt, 6A football. How about some Halloween action? Let's start first in Circle Pines, Minnesota. Top-seeded Centennial hosting a Halloween night matchup, 4th-seeded Shakopee. Only one can be great for the round of 8. Midway through the first, Caleb Melzer gets this party started, shedding a tackler through the gap, rumbles 41 yards into Shakopee territory, but the drive stalls out like an old Briggs and Stratton. 3rd and 12 here for the Cougars, goes the opposite direction. It's supposed to. Nothing on the board on this possession. Early second half. When in doubt, mash the primer. Isaac Belinsky Strauss sneaks it in from 1 yard out, puts the Cougars up front 7-0 in the second quarter. That QB sneak has been at push levels of success for the boys in Circle Pines this season. Sabres threatening under 30 seconds until half. 3rd and goal. Jake Quartz lobs it up for Quinn Shriver, but Wesley Kokonen's got claws batting the ball away to keep a touchdown off the board. Bring on the boot. Quinn O'Fallon knocks in the field goal. You know, it's not pretty, but 3 points is 3 points, and it's a 7-3 ball game at the break. Sabres looking to keep the momentum going early in the second half. Judah Forsberg gets the pitch and weaves for 19 of his 41 on this scamper, but the Shakopee drive runs out of gas. Midway through the third, Cougars will gladly fuel up. Engine number 38 showing off the horsepower, 41 yards to the House of Horrors. Well, for Shakopee anyway, that being horrors. Cougars extended their lead 14-3 in a rainy defensive battle at Cougar Seat. And Melzer, like Greg Jennings, putting the team on his back, taking this game over. Late third, Melzener doing it for Madden, doing it for a trip to the state quarterfinals. No broken leg here. His two work just fine. Cougars offense living on the shoulders of the senior fullback. 54 yards to set up the inevitable. Belinsky Strauss sneaks in his second touchdown of the game. Cougars take it 21-3 into the fourth. Full control of this matchup. Just under 2 minutes to go. Junior Carter Radzawil getting in on the act, bounces it to the outside for his second touchdown of the postseason. 22-yard scamper for 6. The Cougars dominated on the ground, dominated defensively. Centennial rolls 28-3 to the state quarterfinals for the second time in the last 3 seasons.
I think our kids are just gritty. I mean, this is kind of who we are. It's never pretty. It's always exciting. We always kind of make a mistake once in a while here and there. But I think our kids just played hard-nosed football. And I got to give both sides of the ball, the coaching staffs on both sides were our defensive coaches and our old coaches sure came up with good game plans, I thought, and adjusted on the fly well. We stopped a very good team tonight to 3. We held them to 3 points, and we scored 28 on them. So we feel really good about that.
Well, it was a night where you knew it was going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust on both sides of the ball. It was going to be a quick-moving game. You guys kind of avoided some disasters early in this game. Were able to persevere through that.
Yeah, and you know that's kind of who we are in practice, and that's our kids. They've played like that all year long. They've played the same way, and never too high, never too low.
Well, now you're headed on to the state quarterfinals. Matchup with either Woodbury or Moorhead. We don't know yet, but it's a track meet going on in Woodbury right now. So you know it's going to be a little bit different game next week, no matter who it is.
Yeah, we're gonna just enjoy tonight, and then we'll worry about next week. Because you know when you get to the final 8, everybody is a good football team.
That is Mike Diggins, the head coach.
Centennial advances to the 6A state quarterfinals to match up with the Moorhead Spuds. They are the number 6 seed here in this Spring Lake Park region. More on that showdown in just a moment, but the Cougars have absolutely dominated the first 2 rounds against Hopkins and Shakopee, winning by a combined score of 76-15. They are playing Cougar football, running the ball, playing great defense, and like Coach Diggins said, just kind of overcoming those obstacles on their way to these significant victories. They racked up 328 yards on the ground against Hopkins and kept the rushing success rolling against the Sabres. On the bottom half of the bracket, there you see the opponent, Moorhead, has come down 94 to the Metro in back-to-back weeks, and, well, they've only just put up 102 points. And insane. This is not a basketball score. We're still playing football. 64-48 over Woodbury on Friday night. You saw that highlight where it was raining up there in the North Metro. Not sure what it was like in the East Metro, but man, if they're putting up that type of offense and that type of weather, man, this is a dangerous team, and it leads to the ultimate clash of styles. And Matt, styles make fights. This will be as unique of a fight as we have seen from the Cougars in quite some time. Centennial likes to run the football, tight splits. Moorhead, they like to spread this thing out with multiple receivers. They're averaging 51 points per game over the last 3. Friday night's win over Woodbury. Jet Feeney, their quarterback, threw for 332 and 6 tutties. Tay Rich rushed for 190 and 3 scores. David Mack, Zach Walker, how about 15 catches, 271, and those 6 touchdowns combined. But as explosive as Moorhead's offense has been, the defense is kind of on the opposite end of this thing, giving up 34.3 points per game this season, surrendering 34 or more 5 times. Matt, this is going to be a wild matchup.
Well, you mentioned that the 51 points per game the last 3. That's not coincidentally been with the return of Jet Feeney. We talked about him a little bit a couple of weeks ago in the Blaine playoff preview. It's a 6 seed that has snuck up on nobody because Jet Feeney has returned when they have maybe the best quarterback in the state under center. The Spuds are 5-0 this year, so that was a tricky task for Blaine to get them in the first round. They've obviously moved on here through 2 rounds with some big wins on the road. Feeney's got a 21-1 touchdown to interception ratio in his 5 games this year. David Mack, all-state receiver. He's got almost 100 catches, 1,300 plus yards, 23 receiving touchdowns, leads the state in all 3 of those categories. And yeah, Tay Rich getting down our list, but he is fielding multiple Division I offers. That's the running back the Spuds have. It's an explosive offense. As much as Centennial likes their defense with the fewer than 12 points per game, they want to keep the Spuds off the field, play keep away. That's going to be key, but that's kind of the identity that Mike Diggins was talking about. It's not always the prettiest football, but if you can keep the ball out of the hands of the Spuds, limit their possessions, this could be a big win for Centennial to get them to US Bank Stadium.
6A is fun, but how about some 5A football here, Matt?
Yeah, Spring Lake Park, the second-ranked team in the state in Class 5A, out to that 9-0 start. They had a chance to rematch with the Buffalo Bisons, 6-3 coming in. Remember, Spring Lake Park just beat this team 21-7 in a tight one on the road 3 weeks ago. They do it again in SLP, though, to go to state. And Lamari Brown up to the task in the biggest game of the year. He rips off an 80-yard run on the first play from scrimmage. Dr. Brown with a house call, his 9th of the season, and it's 7-0 Panthers. It would be 7-3 after a field goal at the end of the first. First play of the second now. Brown is the decoy, draws the attention of half the Bison's defense. That allows quarterback Nolan Roach to get loose. A 53-yard touchdown, 2 big plays to start the first 2 quarters. SLP in front, 14-3. We saw Brown bust off the big play. He wouldn't be denied for a 1-yard run on 2nd and goal here. Second of the night for Brown, 21-3, Spring Lake Park. Buffalo with some pushback before the half. Grant Benson finds fellow senior Hendrix Gatz 30-yard touchdown pass made it 21-10 just before the half. How about some trickeration from SLP? A terrific handoff, a little Statue of Liberty play to get it to Brown, untouched for a 22-yard score. 28-10, Panthers led it at the half. Late third quarter, Brown rumbles in for his 4th touchdown of the night from 15 away. It's 38-10, and Brown would put a capper on a 5-touchdown, 225-yard night with this. 4th quarter score, the Panthers roll. Guess who we talked to after the game?
Our offense had a super slow start these past 2 games, so we knew this hard-hitting team was going to come out right away, and we knew that if our offense gets going right away, that our defense is always going to shut them down. And, you don't get many first-play touchdowns, so as soon as we got that first-play touchdown, we knew it was going to be a great game.
I really loved the play right before half, that little Statue of Liberty play. I've never seen so much open space for a running back before. That's got to be super fun, right?
Yes, we've worked on it for about 3 to 4 years now, and we finally got to run it, so it feels amazing to finally run it. One time I ran it, we scored. It was beautiful.
Yes, sir. I know he's big. He's pretty fast and shifty. I try to keep on fighting the O-line, then get the sack. And with him moving around and all that, it's just we practice tackles, we practice sacks, we practice great form, and just can't let him get past us.
It seems like you kind of have a nose for it with these quarterbacks. I feel like you're in the backfield all the time. What are you keying on? What are you seeing that kind of gives you that advantage?
I like to read the linemen in the beginning of the game, see what moves they like to do, and read the quarterback's pocket presence. And based off that, I just go and dominate.
Spring Lake Park rushed for a season-high 376 yards on the ground to a season-high watermark in the section final to go to state. How about that for the Panthers? And you heard from Lamari Brown, the standout senior running back. He kind of had been splitting carries with the sophomore Markwell Mitchell early in the year. Mitchell out the last couple of games, and Brown showing he can still be a go-to bell cow back, getting the bulk of the carries. How about averaging 17 a game as he busted off a career-high 225 yards on 13 totes and a career-high 5 touchdowns in the win to get the Panthers back to the state tournament. Couple of notes on Brown from head coach John Stewart. 3,283 yards in his career, 269 points scored, both the second most in Panther history for a guy who's been the go-to running back since he was a freshman. And this passing attack for Spring Lake Park. Roach throws it for 57 yards. You got to be aware of him. He's got 918 through the air in the season and has a chance to be the 3rd Panther QB ever with an 1,000-yard passing season. When you think of Spring Lake Park football, you think of running it. The last quarterback to pass for 1,000 yards was Tommy Anderstrom 25 years ago in the year 2000. We can, go back to the old Conan O'Brien late night show. But the Panthers, that dynamic on the ground like we're used to and through the air, and they get it done with a eye-popping score in the section final.
I mean, Matt, we've been watching Lamari Brown ever since he stepped onto campus, and that's about as good as a performance as we've seen. And then you kind of mentioned the extra dimension with the passing game. In the past, we know that Spring Lake Park is always going to be dedicated to the run, but, you're talking 3 passing attempts a game, 4 passing attempts per game. They're putting it into the air. They've got some big wide receivers that make matchup problems very difficult for some smaller defensive backs on the outside as well. So Spring Lake Park moves on to the state tournament. The Panthers draw the number 3 seed on the north side of the bracket. So this bracket is a little bit different. There's kind of 2 sections of it. They're seeded 1 through 4 for teams on the north, 1 through 4 on teams in the south. After this quarterfinals, the top seed from the top remaining seed from the north side will play the lowest remaining team from the south side and vice versa. But as we said, they're the 3 taking on the 2 seed, Alexandria Cardinals from up 94. They are 9-1 this year. Their only loss, a 2-point loss to Chanhassen in the season opener. This is a team that scores at the level of Moorhead, like we were talking about earlier on in the program, averaging 40 points per game, and they've scored over 40 in 7 of their games this year, including 7 of their last 8. Their rushing attack, lethal. Brody Berg, over 1,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. So that is going to be a tall task, Matt, in the state quarterfinals. Alexandria can run the ball pretty well, but, we've kind of gotten to the point, Dream State is a documentary that's been produced before, and, Spring Lake Park has been running, and this is the dream that they've been able to get to. Like Tom Petty said, they certainly are running down a dream here as we get to the back half of the year.
Yeah, back to the state tournament, and again, out to a 10-0 start for the first time in 9 years. The 2016 Spring Lake Park team started the year 12-0, reached the Prep Bowl final where they lost to eventual champions Elk River. But really special run here for Spring Lake Park to get back out to that mark. One of the most prolific offenses in terms of rushing the ball in Class 5A. You see there, they're fourth in the state in the second largest school division. And scoring 35 a game, giving up fewer than 12 a game. And a lot of those touchdowns the Panthers have given up have been on some special teams plays. They cleaned that phase up of the game early, so their defense does not give up much. And this is a team that have that dynamic dual threat ability as they look to get back to US Bank Stadium in the semis.
We talked about at the beginning of the show, this is this climb up the mountain, and who's going to be able to get to that peak. We saw Centennial get there on the football side. We saw Spring Lake Park get side. But now as we transition to the volleyball side, it has been so much fun to watch this Centennial volleyball team, the #1 seed in their section. Semifinals, finals, maybe that's a little bit of a teaser, but let's start first with the semifinal matchup. We begin by hitting rewind back to Tuesday in that Section 7 4A semi. Centennial hosting Forest Lake for a spot in the section championship game. Cougars out to a 12-6 lead in the first. Josie Colvin certainly excelled in geometry, taking the angle off the block to cut it to 5. Red shirts up 9 now. If Colvin excelled, Chase Manthe aced it, just like this serve in the direction of Colvin, by the way. One of her 3 aces on the night. Set point, Centennial +10, some good hustle. Sets up Aubrey Workala. Look at the hops there. One of her 8 kills to put the Cougs up 1-0 after a 25-14 first set win. Second set, Centennial up 9-2. Macy Munson denied at the net by Annabelle Steinhoff. Gives the Cougars an 8-point cushion. 16-8. We've gone way too long in this highlight without an Elena Hankey highlight. An absolute jackhammer. One of her 14 kills that led the Cougars, and it's a 9-point Centennial advantage. Lead out to 10 now. Rangers looking to get back into it. Kendall Broder beats the front line. Little finesse to cut the deficit to single digits. Set point here. Cougars lead by 8. Nora Leisure powers at home for the second set win for the Red and Black. She finished with 6 kills. Centennial looking to close it out. Forest Lake hanging around to start the third set. Workala was working on this one, placing the ball just inside the back line to give the Cougars a 4-point lead. There it is. Now the lead 5. Ava Crandell, she did an accuracy off with Workala. Pins it inside the white line at the other end to make it a 4-point matchup. 3-point game, 22-19. Rangers keep on staying alive. Colvin with the big swing cuts the Centennial lead to just a pair of points. Still a pair of points, 24-22. Match point, the All Maroons need a point to extend it, and it's extended past the white line. That'll do it. Serve goes long, and the Cougars punch their ticket to Thursday night's section championship showdown.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird. We've never played them except in sections, but I think our coaches and our team did a great job scouting. So we knew where to hit, we knew what was open, and I think we just really focused on our energy and just staying high the whole game.
We had Chase Manthe on the short list to talk to. We'll get her in the section final, I think, coming up on Thursday. But I thought she was outstanding today. She gets all your hitters really involved and a lot of really tough passes off the net. What did you see from your vantage point of how she was looking today?
Yeah, I mean, Chase does an awesome job just running our floor. She's a great leader. She's calling our plays and just getting all of us open nets all the time. So she's awesome.
I think definitely just serve receive and making sure we're staying behind the ball, and also where and what's open on the court for our hitters.
All right, Aubrey, what are you looking forward to on Thursday? You want to get pumped up? Are you worried about getting too excited? What is that going to be like when you get back on this floor on Thursday?
I'm so excited. I hope we come out with the same energy definitely in warm-ups, and I think that helped us a lot throughout the game, and just play as a team the whole time.
So the Cougars trying to keep that energy going. The win meant they hosted the Section 7 final Thursday night to go to state. The 2-seed Andover, who the Cougars swept in a mid-September meeting, their opposition. Addie Kemper had a big first set, eclipsing 5 kills in the opening frame. Top outside hitter Allie Denicky breaking a 4-0 Cougar run with the kill there for Andover. It was set point Cougars in the first. Gopher commit Elena Hankey leads the line to the block, and the first set win as the Cougars take it 25-18. It's hard to stop this. 3 years of chemistry brewing between Chase Manthe, the setter, and Elena Hakey, who lambasted that one there after Andover briefly led 8-7. An 11-0 Centennial run after it was 10-10 gave the Cougars a big cushion. Huskies hung around, but that advantage too much to overcome. Annabelle Steinhoff, the sophomore, with the back row attack, won it. Cougars go up 2-0 with a 25-17 set win. Another block from Hakey on the overpass helped the Cougs to an eventual 11-4, later 21-9 advantage. And some moments of promise, Kylie Fish flipped that one to the back row to keep it alive for the Huskies. But Aubrey Workala would apply the finishing touch to send the Cougars into pandemonium. They're headed to the state tournament this week in St. Paul. They sweep all 3 opponents on their way through the section playoffs and are Section 7 champions.
Trophy.
I mean, it's honestly a surreal feeling, especially coming off of our loss in section finals last year. This group has worked so hard for this moment, and I know that we're just hungry for more, so I'm excited for next week.
You guys swept all 3 of the opponents you faced in You didn't lose to a section opponent all year going back to the regular season. What's that say about this team and wanting to kind of, I guess, make a statement, not just get there, but do it in such dominant fashion?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a goal to not drop a set in sections, and we know we're a top-ranked team in the state, and we wanted to prove that. So I think we did just that.
Chase, tell me about this, going to the state tournament. What are you feeling right now?
It's a dream. I've always wanted to. This is the team I wanted to go with. I'm beyond proud of everyone, and I've been in this gym since I was younger, and just doing it myself is a dream.
You were a freshman. You were you were in the program when this team went to state last time, the last year. Your mom was the head coach. What's it special doing it this year with this senior class and your upperclassmen group going this season? What's been special about this group?
I think we all want it really bad. Last year we lost and it was hard for us, but this year we just worked really hard because it's what we wanted and we got what we wanted. It was a dream for us.
On to state. Centennial draws the number 6 seed in the Class 4A tournament bracket, emanating from Grand Casino Arena in St. Paul starting Wednesday. They'll face off with the number 3 seed, Prior Lake. The Lakers from the South Metro, they're 21-10 this year and rolled through Section 2, beating Shakopee, Eden Prairie, Chanhassen in similar fashion, 9-0 that Centennial did in their section. And Matt, when you kind of look around at Centennial volleyball right now, I don't know about you, but it's kind of feeling like 2022, isn't it?
It is. I mean, Elena Hakey, kind of the one thread through from that last state tournament team. She was a freshman, the now all-state senior middle, who's back. Nicole Christensen, the head coach of the Cougars, who took over after that final season of Jackie Redheim-Manthe at the helm in 22. We talked to her after the game as well, too, and she said she took over. She had just one varsity player returning. Yes, it was Elena Hakey. That's a pretty good one player that you get back from the last team, but she had set it up and had this kind of 3-year vision and plan for the Cougars to get back to state. They accomplished that plan to a T, and the Cougars back in the state tournament for the 4th time in school history. Hakey's a centerpiece. She's one of the 5 Miss Volleyball finalists and a potential favorite to win that award before she heads to the University of Minnesota. She got to 1,000 kills in her career this year. Chase Manthe, who you heard from after the section final, 1,000 assists on the season. That connection will be key, but the Cougars really spread the ball around to a lot of different outside hitters. Over 20 wins this year, and that 7-match winning streak is they look to keep it rolling in that tough matchup you talked about, Ted, against Prior Lake.
Yeah, it should be a good one to see just how far they can make it out there in St. Paul. And Matt, we covered 3 teams. Hey, they're all punching their ticket. They're all Centennial football, Spring Lake Park, and Centennial volleyball, all punching their ticket to state. So good luck to them as we look forward to next week. That's when we're going to start kind of bringing in some athletes from some of these teams to recap some of these seasons, their thoughts as they kind of look forward. We're starting to look forward already to the winter season. Girls hockey is not too far away. It's kind of hard to imagine they're going to be playing with sticks and pucks on the ice here pretty soon as well. And we'll obviously kind of follow what Centennial volleyball is looking forward to. So this, what's been kind of your overall thoughts on how this fall season has kind of led up to this point?
I think it's been as good as expected, right? Like we didn't know what to make with all the turnover from our area football teams. I was really surprised with the Centennial run. I mean, it's been the best version. We knew some pieces were there for Centennial, but them kind of without like a ton of superstar players, but just playing the Centennial football style. That's been a winning formula. So I think it's been the best version of what you could have hoped from the Centennial season. And they've really turned some heads with just one loss in the season. Spring Lake Park, we kind of saw it building a little bit, right? Lamari Brown's been around since he was a freshman. A lot of his classmates have been 3-4-year varsity players, and that's really clicked. That's been super fun to go back to practice and just catch up with our old buddies in the class of 2026. So they're still there playing varsity, so that's been fantastic. And Centennial volleyball, there's nothing better than state tournament volleyball. Down in St. Paul. That'll be a blast to watch this week.
Got a couple more shows this fall. You know we are going to finish strong. Come on back here for player interviews and some state football highlights as we wrap up the fall season with just a couple more shows to go. He's Matt Dean. I'm Ted LaRue. We'll see you next Monday here in the Sports Den.